Packers this week. Fuck the records. It's come out. We finna beat their ass.
In the pocket, fires, caught, touchdown! Olamide Zacchaeus into the end zone. Has time, throws, caught! 2 points. Extra pressure. Pass throw, Dobbs makes a tremendous catch. The Green Bay Packers to try to make it 6 up. And the kick is no good. They're in field goal range. They want to get 7. They can use the clock. Williams throwing, and it's caught for the touchdown by DJ Moore. Field. Hearts beating furiously. It's dropped. Love looking. One last gasp. Moving guys around. Fires to the end zone, and it is broken up. The Bears win it in a crazy one.
Bear down, bear down, bear down. That's what's up. Love to see it.
Y'all know what it is.
FTP.
FTP for sure.
Y'all know what it is. Shad, you got it hyped. It's like, we gonna fuck the Packers. We gonna beat their ass. And it didn't look like that in that first half. But when that fourth quarter hit, we BTA on that. BTA.
Iceman. The Iceman coming.
Welcome to the Southside podcast. I'm your boy Manny. Got Shad in the building, and you got Guy Walker. We are here. This is a victory Monday. It's a victory weekend.
Victory weekend, yeah.
For the beloved. You know, you see it right here, man. Just wanted to say this game right here, I think will probably go down to, in Bears history, probably the biggest, probably most like groundbreaking like game in our history as a franchise, because this is a generational, this is a changing of the guard type of victory. This is, okay, the big brother was stepping on us. Packers was beating us 30 years, like just clowning us. And now this is our time. This is, we are the kings of the North now. That's what Ryan Post said. He was he was maybe a year too late, a couple years, later, but it's prophesizing. We got the North. We're not taking it back. So, and that proved to that in that fourth quarter when we were down 18 points, 21-3, and I'm like, and Shad, you and I was texting each other. I'm like, they better make second half adjustments, because this, it seemed like we had the Eberflus Bears offense. Like you said last year, the worst first half football I've ever seen in my life. That's what that looked like. But in that second half, and the way the defense played too, you can say, okay, well, the defense, we know they ain't gonna show up. That second half, that defense showed up. That defense played better. It played more inspired. It was punching the ball out. We saw, and I wish Dexter would have pounced on that ball instead of letting that ball get away. I was so pissed off. Yeah. I'm like, man, this is a play, and they went out of bounds. But defense stood tall. Offense got their act together, and there's a couple plays that we like. Okay, 4th and 1. We said it on the last podcast. Don't be cute. So and he got cute, and we got a turnover after that.
Yeah.
I think that was late in the third too. Had to be late in the third, but that fourth quarter, man, Caleb, I can honestly say, you know, he grew up in that game. Franchise. He went from just being, you know, decent player, rookie. Okay, he has flashes. Now that game kind of elevated him, and I'm gonna ask y'all that too when I get a second. That game, to me, that game elevated him to a franchise player, especially for us, because we never had that in our history. I want y'all to see this throw right here. This throw, I think it was 5 minutes and 37 seconds in the fourth, and I think this throw pretty much saved their season.
After you get to the Green Bay 49, Williams chased, throws, and it's caught at the 30-yard line. Rome would do.
That throw right there, crazy. And that led to, the touchdown. I think that actually got the offense, like belief and actually got the team believing it. And that's when things start to unravel for the Packers. And yeah, but a great victory. Bears came out 31-27, 25 points in the fourth quarter. Caleb, the game was pretty much shut down. I know you guys were saying we got to run the ball. We was running the ball. Packers was prepared for that. They got prepared for that, and we started throwing it, and Caleb saved the day. Shive guy, I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and let me know your thoughts about this game and just about overall about the play of Caleb and then just this win as a franchise.
Shit, I mean, honestly, man, we haven't been in this situation much, in the history of this organization. So from that standpoint, we got to look at it and embrace it, enjoy it, and really celebrate it. It's a situation where you're celebrating and validating a divisional championship. The Bears have not been in a situation over the last half a decade sniffing divisional play this late in the season. And at the beginning of the game, it was almost magic. Looking at how that field looked when you had a little bit of snow covering, man, it was almost poetic or what do you call it? Cinematic, so to speak, man. From the standpoint where everything kind of just played out the way that I think that the history of a unique team plays out. This team has played this way, for the entire regular season. So to expect something different in the playoffs magically, I think it was a little bit far-fetched. When you're talking about two teams that are very familiar with each other, they had played twice, both on each other's field, splitting the matchups in terms of victories. I think that when you look at the totality of the three games, you got to be honest. The Green Bay has outplayed Chicago in 7 of those 8 quarters. When you add this particular game, Green Bay pretty much controlled the first half of the game, man. So this wasn't a situation where the Chicago Bears played in a dominant capacity, but they did the thing situationally, like they've done all year, to put themselves in a situation at the end of the game to give their unique quarterback an opportunity to win them a football game. Now, it didn't come down to a field goal with Cairo Santos at the end. It came down to the defense being the unit on the field to lock it in, and that was so poetic because nobody in the city trusted the defense to stop a nosebleed. So to see them perform on that level, on that stage, in that moment, was the thing that I think the defense can gain confidence from. We talk about team football, championship football. You're gonna need your stars to be stars. We have a star in a tight end position named Colston Loveland. This young man came in and performed like, let's be honest, Mike Dick, dude, just flat out was the most dominant player on the field. Shout out to G, pointing him out to be potentially an offensive game breaker this week. And looking at the particular matchups, and I think what they did was key on him and pretty much utilize him like you see other unique tight ends used around the league with great offensive playmakers. You move them around. You had him in the sock. You had him split out. You had him in the 13 formation where he was in the backfield. You had him in motion. You know, being able to utilize your assets and take advantage of mismatches and developing that chemistry with your quarterback is huge. Because we've been talking about who's going to be his safety valve, who's going to be his number one weapon. And the question is being answered right in front of our faces. You know, as long as Caleb Williams is throwing footballs in Chicago, it's safe to say that 84 is going to be on the other end on a lot of those. Very impressive display in the second half from your defensive unit. You have to give credit to the defense. As much shit as they got in the first half for looking possibly as bad as Babbage had this defense looking about 10 years ago, they turned it on. Outside of our favorite slot corner, Tyler Gordon, looking like a pedestrian, where they were having turns on him like this was some type of porno session. It was really egregious, man. So to see them be able to ball out, get in the red zone, and stop a prolific offense in Jordan Love, you gotta tip your hat to that unit. They put the pressure on Green Bay. Green Bay did not capitalize when they had opportunities, and the Bears came up and showed that they were the better team on that day, man. It's a motherfucking great day in Chicago, y'all. Point blank period, man. Point blank period.
Totally agree.
Well said.
Well said by the captain, man. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start off with the win. I'm gonna say this win means a lot to this fan base. For us to come into this season with all of us pretty much expecting playoffs. A lot of us expected playoffs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us expected us to kind of flip to the division. You know, that didn't quite go the way that we all wanted it to, but we won the division. This win symbolizes what Ben Johnson was brought in here for. And that is to change the culture. That is to beat the Green Bay Packers. Like you said, I like to beat them twice. I like to beat Matt LaFleur twice a year. He did it. To me, this win symbolizes that the Chicago Bears are not the same old Bears. It means that it's been almost a changing of the guard. It means that we got talent on the offensive line. We got talent at the quarterback position. We got talent at wide receiver. We got immense talent at tight end and running back. We can put all that right there in the bag and say, this is what we look forward to down the road. It's beautiful to see. People are happy. The fans are happy. But one part of me, like I said before, you know, we keep starting out on these slow starts. You know what I mean? So did we actually grow? You know, I was pretty much saying, like, if we come out here and we look good and we play a clean game, then we can exponentially, I can say, you know what? We grew this game. Caleb was better with his throws. You know, the time management was great. All this stuff was going right. The defense started out right, but we didn't. I don't know if we necessarily grew this game. But I think we just been playing the same way we've been playing before. And we won. But on the flip side, when it comes to Caleb Williams, and we talk about him, this is what I learned with Caleb Williams. You see this piece of paper right here? We could just tear this up. The way, well, to me, how we learned how to watch quarterbacks, stand in the pocket, you know, stand in the pocket, 60% completion rate, you know, 6 or above. He's not doing that, bro. Caleb Williams is coming out here playing the way that he wants to play, because we always all asking, will it translate to the NFL? The way that Caleb Williams like to play, will it translate? It's starting to translate. It's leading to wins. He's looking like the best quarterback that we've ever had in this fan base right now. And this is the floor for us. This might be the worst version of the Chicago Bears team, because, Shad, we're playing like a team that's like, to me, you know how some teams be dominant, right? And they had those runs where they get to the end of their run, they can't score points, and they just doing this, and it don't look clean, it don't look complete. That's what we look like. So it's like we're looking like we at the end of the run, we at the beginning of a run. So it's very unique to how we're playing right now, and I can't wait to see what else can we do, man. I'm just looking forward to the next week, man, with the Rams. We are who we are. Shout out to the defense making adjustments in that second half, because, man, we were getting smoked. We have multiple third and outs. I said in one of the chats, I said if we get 5 3-and-outs, we're going to win this game. And I think we got about 5 or 6 and we won. So great win. We are who we are. Caleb is him. Ben Johnson made adjustments, and Dennis Allen made adjustments, man. So we just got to be a first half team, man. Hopefully we grow. Hopefully we can continue to grow.
Yeah, man, that first half was, I completely agree and they've said it too. Quarterback says, the coach says that we haven't played our best ball like 4 quarters. Imagine if what we did in the 4th quarter, all 4 quarters. What would that score be?
50 ball, 50 burger.
Exactly. So we can all say right now the curse is dead. Is the Packer curse dead?
I think it's dead. I think it's dead. We got a coach that could make adjustments. We got a quarterback that could play. We got a lot on our team right now that we did not have before with Eberflus or Matt Nagy. That don't exist anymore. So, and we beat them in the playoff game. It's over, bro. I think it's over.
It ain't dead. It's just being the history is starting another chapter. You look at how long these two teams have been playing since they've been kicking footballs off. Mm-hmm. They've both won 100 games against each other. Green Bay has won over the last 20 years 80% of the games. I'm not going to ignore that shit.
Right.
I watched a big bulk of that. Going on, I haven't missed a game since 1990. So
I was 7 years old, Sean.
I'm sitting in the living room with my pops watching CBS. Like it's a situation where we take this game, you take what Ryan Poles said, you take the Suns' energy, and you manifest that into an excitement that can create or establish the foundation of a culture that we hope that Ben's brought in. We've seen a lot of one-year seasons from Chicago Bear teams. Mm-hmm. I've seen Jay Cutler lead a team to the NFC Championship game, and us not getting back there, and us feeling in the moment that we would have multiple opportunities. I saw Rex Grossman lead us to a Super Bowl with a young budding defense and a very impressive offensive line with some very experienced weapons on the outside, expecting to get back there multiple times. We need to slow the fuck down. This young kid has showed us that what has translated was what his profile showed you in college. That in moments where it requires a unique skill set to make a play, he can do it. The element of playmaker at the quarterback position hasn't really had that traditionally since Brett Favre, maybe on an elite level, because you're talking about a guy that doesn't typically go with the traditional way the position is played or requested by the offense or scheme that they're playing. The Bears run a hybrid West Coast scheme, which is basically identifying within 3 steps where you're going with the ball direction.
Yeah.
Your coaches and your play call designs plays at your intermediate and deep levels for you to throw the ball, and it's centered around a very functional run game that's designed for your offensive line to dictate games. The reason Caleb Williams sees so many conducive coverages in the second half is because teams refuse the Bears to allow themselves to get going on the run game. That is where they lean their hats. Teams are focusing their defense on the run game, which is advantageous for the Bears to throw the ball. Teams have not changed their philosophy. There's only been 2 defensive coordinators that we've seen over the last 10 weeks that have played a type of pass coverage to take away Caleb's pass game. Philadelphia Eagles and Vic Fangio, and Brian Flores in the Minnesota Vikings. Both of those games were wins for the Chicago Bears. Both of those, in my opinion, were Caleb Williams' best games. Reason being because he was taking exactly what the defense was giving him, meaning check downs, short completions, driving the field, keeping the chains moving. These are the things that you look at for his development moving forward if he's going to ascend to the Patrick Mahomes comparison when he was drafted. Right now, you look at him as the best quarterback in the division. Right on par with Jordan Love. You can't discredit Jordan Love. He had 4 touchdowns on the road against a division opponent. He did his job. So from that standpoint, you look at Jordan Love's resume, you look at what Caleb's accomplished, and right now the conversation moving forward is even. Caleb has met expectations of the number 1 pick, but Jordan Love has already established himself at a top 15 level as a quarterback. So we're right here moving into next season. Caleb getting the nod because he's younger and has the ability to go at a higher level. So that's where I'm standing right now with that quarterback shit. But in terms of looking at the matchups, The Bears have the flexibility to beat anybody on any given day because they have the ability to change their complexity on offense. They have a play caller that understands matchups, y'all. That's so fucking important when you're playing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Speaking of that shot, remember that touchdown to DJ Moore at the end. That was a play. I believe that was ran on Washington ran that against us. Ben Johnson used that against the Packers. It was they fake. It was a fake screen, and then they had DJ Moore open on the scene, wide open, and it was just beautiful. Ben Johnson he's one of them. He's like a gunslinger play caller. You know, sometimes he'll miss. He'll miss, but
he's Mike.
But you know,
he's
what?
He's Mike Holmgren. What I mean by Mike Holmgren is a guy that just knows. When a guy just knows offense, there's no stopping that. And you've seen him go up against elite defensive coordinators this year and still generate points. That's the difference between him and Matt Nagy. His scheme translates based on opponent, not necessarily a list of plays. Like Nagy had that big ass play sheet. He had a play for anything. Didn't work against elite play callers because it's about when you call it. Our coach calls something week 4, brings it back week 16. Calls something play 1 in the game, brings it back up at the end of the game on a different situation. Like understanding that within the game that he keeps those things cataloged. That's what makes McVay elite. That's what makes Shanahan elite. Guess who's still coaching teams in the playoffs?
McVay, Shanahan, Ben Johnson.
So, Guy, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I just want to talk about that throw to DJ Moore. Caleb did, and the best thing about that throw that he made on that touchdown was how calm he was. How his mechanics was, you know what I'm saying? He was so calm on that throw, bro. That was one of the most impressive throws I've seen him make that game because he could have overshot that. Because we know Caleb would get out there and overshoot a wide receiver. He does it a lot. But the fact that it was money time and it was winning time, the fact that he was so calm and his mechanics were so on point, because he pump fake, bro. Like, he didn't jitter the pump fake. He didn't I'm going to hurry up and pump fake. I'm going to just take my time, pump fake, make the throw, and it was a fucking dart, bro, on time. So that was really impressive, just that throw to DJ Moore. Just his mechanics was on point. His eyes were where they needed to be. His feet were where they needed to be. His hips where they needed to be. So for him to connect on a game-winning touchdown like that, bro, lets me know that he can play consistent football, bro. He can play football to where he can make decisions like that all the time. We just have not yet to see it. So if he can be calm like that in the fourth quarter, man, I'm really think he can do it because I still think he's still got a ceiling that he can reach. That was impressive. Because when I saw him with the pump fake, I said, bro, he might overshoot this. And he was on the money, bro. I was, damn, bro. Like, if you can play like that, majority of the games, bro, you will be an MVP next year, bro. And he'll be an MVP candidate for the rest of his career going forward. He got a crazy one, bro.
It's coming up to that. It's going to be coming. I think a few years we're going to be hearing that. Maybe by next year, who knows? I wanted to say too. We also saw the leadership of Caleb too. Like we saw him on the sidelines get fiery with his teammates. You know what I mean? And that shows us like from a second year player to do that. You know what I mean? It shows you a lot of like growth and growth and maturity in him. And you know, as far as leadership is concerned. Because it was a play where he got intercepted, but I think it was Luther Burden didn't run the route the whole way. So he was upset. He got, you know what I mean, people, and you think he would get a little rattled, you know, after that. But like you said, Guy, he stayed calm throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
That fourth quarter came up, money time, boom.
Yeah.
It was. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Okay.
It's just cool to see your quarterback. Like, it could be twofold because Caleb makes mistakes out there too. But sometimes you do like to see your quarterback get on a guy's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, and he was so demonstrative on that sideline when they rolled that clip. And he told Luther Burden, do your fucking job, bro. It was so obvious. If you taking, okay, Caleb might have made an interception, but if you look at it like, damn, I've never seen Caleb that demonstrative about a play. I've never seen him do that because it could be said that Caleb could have looked another way, but that was a trust me throw. bro, I'm going to trust you for you to run your route right now the right way, and you didn't do it. So I don't mind my quarterback getting on one of his wide receivers' ass. I like that because it shows that you are a leader. You know what I mean? It shows that the coach is not out there. A lot of time the coach is not out there. So verbal communication like that lets me know that he cares, lets me know that he wants to win, and he lets me know that he's dialed in.
Mm-hmm. And Shad, I want to ask, and it's actually for both of you guys if y'all want to answer it. So, is this specific moment for Caleb, winning this game? Because I remember I said it kind of switched him from just a good player, sophomore player to a franchise. Is this game, does it put him in that category as, okay, he's one of them ones. He's that franchise guy. He's or is it still a little bit more room to grow for that?
I'll go out the shot. That's a good one.
I don't necessarily change the gauge every game, bro. I mean, I look at seasons in totality and kind of synopsize where you're at. I mean, if we looking at where he was at the start of the season from right now, I mean, where did we have him when the season started? The 20th best quarterback in football?
Yeah.
So, yes, he's gone up. Made a substantial jump into an elite level? No, because, again, he wasn't the primary reason that we won majority of our games. This was a team effort or collective effort throughout the entire season. So he hasn't ascended to the MVP caliber. To me, to be an elite quarterback, you already have to be an MVP or already be in the vote for top 3. He hasn't reached that point. And in the second year, that's not what I expected from him. I do look at the fact that the offense is a top 10 offense. And even though it's predicated on the establishment and creation of a great run game, the amount of touchdowns that they've thrown, the amount of yards that they've thrown, it is impressive, and it lets me know that he has passed the moniker as a game manager as opposed to a playmaker. So a playmaker for me, when I'm evaluating quarterbacks, you go from a rookie, which is your game manager. You come in, you learn the game. You understand what the operation of the offense is supposed to be so that you know how to execute each play. After that, maturation goes to learning the whole playbook. At that point, coach can call whatever he wants at any given time. You should be able to execute it. Your performance level or your efficiency is going to increase, hopefully, every year you're in that offense. So because this is year one, you got to be very optimistic about the fact that the coach was able to cater the offense to him and still have a lot of room for growth. Looking at what they have outside to complement him today, yeah, I pencil him in by the end of this season as a top 10 quarterback.
Man, I think I'm gonna take it from this. I'm gonna go from his rookie season and then I'm gonna go to now. So I think the last year he had 27 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, right? 68 sacks. I think this
20
year
and 5. I thought.
How many?
I think it was like 20 and 5 his rookie year, or 22 and 5.
22 and 5. Okay, let's say it's 22 and 5. I think this year he had 3,942, 30 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, probably like 24, 25 sacks. He beats Green Bay on the road last year for the first time in Lambeau in a very long time. Then he beats Green Bay this year for the division, for us to win the division in the fourth quarter, overtime. Fourth quarter, fourth down, touchdown. Overtime, touchdown, DJ Moore. This last game against the Green Bay Packers, 360 total yards, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, beats Green Bay. He's actually 3-2 versus Green Bay as a starter. And I always say a quarterback or a franchise quarterback to me, or a winning quarterback to me, is not the one that's going to always give me a bunch of yards, a bunch of touchdowns. What are you going to do when the defense give you the damn ball back and it's time for you to be money time? So with that being said, when the defense gives him an opportunity to win the game, to lead us to a victory, Caleb Williams have 7 comebacks, bro. 7.
Yeah.
7. So with all that information right there, to me, that is a franchise quarterback, bro. Caleb Williams is a franchise quarterback. Now, is he MVP candidate? Maybe next season. Is he above average? Absolutely. Is he a game manager? I think he's a little bit of a game manager, but I think he has extraordinary playmaking ability, and we see that week in and week out at the end of games. So the money is won at the end of games. And there's a lot of parity in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? A lot of games come down to a field goal, you know what I mean? Things like that, or a last second touchdown, overtime. So the fact that he's where he's at right now, what he's been able to do in 2 seasons, especially with a new offense, a new head coach, pretty much revamped O-line, the defense, the way it plays sometimes, that's opportunistic, that's not really dominant, and to come out on top the way he's been playing, I'm gonna give him. He is a franchise quarterback, bro. I think he's only going to get better based off the playmakers we have at the receiver, the playmaker we got at tight end, and the play caller, and his the whole staff, man, the running game and everything. So we put all that together. Caleb Williams really doesn't really have a ceiling. It's going to be his ability to play better at the beginning of games. But for right now, it's a totality. I definitely think he's a franchise quarterback.
Great analysis on that, both of you guys. So I'm gonna kind of shift a little bit to the defense. And we all notice Green Bay kind of picking on Kyler Gordon. Mm-hmm. He's not 100%. But his presence, was known. What do you think as far as Kyler Gordon, I guess, performance? Remember, it was his first game back. But are you thinking team's gonna kind of just pick on him from here on out?
Go ahead, Shot.
I don't know if they're going to pick on him, but it's going to be a lot more of a daunting task. I mean, thinking about Green Bay, they attacked the slot. We talked about that pregame or before the game started in terms of matchups. We talked about the importance of having him back. And if not, we should see Tyreek Stevenson lined up against guys that they typically have in the slot for attacking vertically. We didn't see Tyreek Stevenson. We saw a lot of Gordon. His snaps were over 80%. Honestly, had one of the worst games I've seen in his professional career. It's not asking a lot. You're paid to perform. You said you were healthy enough to play, and he was almost the reason we lost that game. Even with making plays in the second half in terms of a couple pass deflections, especially on those last 2 drives, it's a lot to be asked. And I'm looking at Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams coming in. That shit ain't gonna be sweet.
Woo! That's gonna be
sweet.
Our corner's gonna have a big fit. Our corner's gonna have a rough day.
They gotta earn their paycheck, man. They gotta earn that shit, bro.
It's a tough expectation for it. I mean, he did show the willingness to get in the box and make tackles. I think he had 3 tackles. So that's always good to see. Unlike Jalen Johnson, who, since he's been back on injury, I think he's maybe been on the tackle sheet 1 week. So I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough, tall task next week.
I agree.
Specifically because they're more physical receivers than you saw with Green Bay, where they were a little bit more quick twitch. Golden was able to get loose, and he's considered a bigger receiver for the Packers. So I just think it comes down to matchups. I think if Nashawn is healthy, you probably keep him on the outside against Devontae a little bit more. And there's no reason Tyreek Stevenson doesn't see more snaps this week.
What do you think? What kind of defense you think Dennis Allen would, I guess,
he doesn't
attack the Rams with?
Doesn't have a choice. Last week, I told you I needed 3 linebackers on the field, and we got DeMarco Jackson on the field last week, and it looked like that was the reason that Green Bay abandoned the run in the second half. And a lot of people in Green Bay today are pissed off about that because they were chewing up yards in the run game, but they decided to go on the air assault, try to attack the fact that the Bears were coming out with 3 linebackers. I think next week, because of the injuries to T.J. Edwards, injuries to the defensive backs, still trying to get themselves back together. We don't know how healthy Jaquan Brisker is, who also went down in that game. I think he's going to do what he's done all year, play matchup ball. looking at what the Rams don't do well, they tend to struggle protection-wise on third downs and long. Unlike Green Bay, who's elite at it, you might have an opportunity to get a little bit more of a pocket pressure feel for the defensive line this week, specifically when you're bringing pressure. The Packers ate up the pressure from Matt LaFleur ate up the pressure when the Bears decided to bring it this week. So next week, even though McVay typically has a bunch of blitz beaters, I think that the blitz could possibly get home against Stafford due to his lack of mobility. But you can't be scared of him busting your shit if you don't get there. So it's really just coming down to how confident Dennis Allen is in his blitz game next week, because I'm pretty sure they're going to go line up with 3 linebackers and play pretty much press coverage in the second half like they did this week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think about that.
I mean, when it came to Kyler Gordon coming back, man, like I said before, man, and Rome was back, it's like it's a difference between being, 100% healthy to play and being impactful. So if I was the Green Bay Packers, I would have went after him too. Like, let's really see how healthy you are. And he did not look like the same Kyler Gordon that we've known to see. Like I said before, look, man, you're coming off a hamstring or ankle or groin, whatever he was on, bro. These guys are 180-something pounds, and they depend on speed to be effective. And if you're not that draft pick where you're running at 4.3 or 4.2 and you come out in the game where you haven't been running, literally running, you're not going to be at your best. So maybe he's going to be better against the Rams because he can get a little bit more practice. He can get his feet up under him, get more loose. But at the end of the day, man, just to answer your question, I was expecting that. I said it in our pregame show, like, man, I don't really know if he's going to be actually impactful today. So, and it looked like Shad said, we almost lost that game because of him. So, yeah, like if you're not going to be impactful, your health being 100% really don't matter to me personally. You know what I mean? Like it really don't matter. And that goes for Roma Doomsday, who was out there. Like, how did he look a couple of times? I don't know if he was absolutely ready, but impact and health are 2 different things. 100% health, impacting, what they call it, 6'7" or some shit. Like it's two different ball games of being healthy and being impactful. Y'all know that about playing sports, bro. Yeah, I feel good. I can run a little bit, but when you got that beast that's on the other side of that field that's been playing, ain't been hurt, and you got to keep up with somebody like that all game, that's a different ball game. You know what I mean? It's like playing pickup ball or street ball. And yeah, you kill it, but then when you get out there with them real guys, it's like, yeah, this is a different ball game, bro. Totally different.
So yeah, since we're talking about the Rams, let's more about the defensive side. And let's just see as a team as a whole. Now, we are, since we're going to be playing the Rams Sunday, how can we make sure that we're not flat next week, especially in the first half? Like, how can the offense, or how can offense not be flat, and I guess get ready for a Rams team, and because of the emotional weekend or the emotional game we had versus the Packers?
Great question, man. Great question. Well,
it's tough to look at and foresight that particular matchup. Just looking back at the tape of what the fact the Rams did to the Panthers. I mean, they put up 34 points against the Panthers defense that had been playing solid the last 4 weeks. Stafford had 42 pass attempts, 300 yards. You know what to expect with him. He's done that his whole career. The problem with me is that early in games, the Bears defense struggles to get off the field on third down, and we struggle to convert on third downs. Bingo. So it has to flip. It has to flip at some point. If it doesn't flip, you're going to expect the same type of game to play out the way that it has. Difference between the Rams is they have the ability, just like the 49ers, to bury you with points. They typically get in the groove, and it's that way for the rest of the game. So like one of those games you saw against San Francisco or against Cincinnati, where a team offensively has a lot of production and a lot of powerful weapons, expect them not to be stopped sometime. And with the fact that our defense has injuries, and they've shown the fact that they can be a sieve and not be able to establish themselves early, this could be a high-scoring affair, man. And the thing about the Chicago Bears, it looks like they just pretty much play up or down to their level of competition. So if the Rams come out and they score a touchdown, then at that point, I think that's when you should see the click from Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams in combination in terms of trying to match that with their play calling on their sidelines. When you at home, bro, you gotta have. I don't think that they had a bad approach. I don't think that they had a bad energy. I think that Green Bay was just a better team at the beginning of the game. The difference is the quarterback position now that the Chicago Bears have a weapon in the fourth quarter that if it's close, he can beat you. So I don't over evaluate, the matchup in terms of talent top to bottom. I think the Rams are a more talented team when you look at their full roster. Defensively, they know how to get interceptions. They got guys that can get to the quarterback, guys that tackle for loss, and you got 2 All-Pros on that side of the ball. So it's going to be a challenge. For me, I don't think a letdown happens because they haven't done it all season. See, my son don't believe the same.
Man, when you say the coming out flat, whoo, and this is one of the great questions that's been coming up, and it's a good one, man, because we haven't seen the offense kind of be complimentary as much as we want. We haven't seen Caleb kind of just dominate early in games with his arm. Just to answer that, just don't come out flat. I think this is going to come down to scheme. I think this might come down to Ben Johnson just looking for what the mismatch is, if there's one, something he can exploit, something he can expose, something where we can get a chunk yards here and there, whether it's run or pass. I really don't care. Long as you get something started off quickly and you don't stay on something that doesn't work. If it's not working, I just want to see Ben Johnson get off of it, bro. If it's the run game and they're not creating holes, through the middle, do something else. If it's Caleb and he missed 2 damn throws, he's just off target, get off of him. You know what I mean? We don't have time to sit back and just keep trying. Go with what works, find what you can expose and exploit it. That's it. And that's all. Find whatever holes are in their zone, their man, their linebackers, their whatever, who's weak on the right side of the D line. I do not give a damn as long as Ben Johnson finds a weakness. And that's something I'm going to be paying attention to this game. How good is he really, knowing that we keep coming out flat? What are you going to do, $15 million a year coach, to keep the chains moving? What are you going to do, bro? So I'm just looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to adjust to, man. That's really it. That's all I got.
Okay. Cool, fellas. Let's kind of dabble into other games. We saw yesterday, or actually, I was going to say this about the Rams real quick. They had a tough time against the Panthers. They really did. They almost could have lost that game against the Panthers. They were Super Bowl favorites. Start out people saying, "Oh, they're the best team in NFC and everything like that." Right now, I think everything is kind of even playing field now. With the Bears, the way they play, the way they can, just kind of flip the switch, turn it up,
right.
when they're down, because it seems like we like to play our best ball when we're down by 2 or 3 scores. It's just crazy like that. And if I'm the Rams, you got to play all 60 minutes against us. If you play 57 minutes and we're down 2 scores,
right,
it's a possible. It's a 90. It's not even 50-50. It's a dang 75-80% chance we can come back and win this
game.
Don't
put us away. Yeah, don't put us away. You're right, bro.
We've seen it 7 times.
Yeah.
And even if you people was even watching the game, I'm watching the game. Everybody's emotional. Oh, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. And I'm thinking myself, all right, well, he had that turnover. If we get this stop, we can. If we can do this, if the kicker missed the field goal, and I think Green Bay's gonna fire. They're gonna fire that kicker. McManus is. Yeah, I think he's gone. Yeah. I think he's done.
7. So we 17 games? That's how many games we played in the regular season?
Yes.
So we had 7 comebacks, bro.
Yeah, this season. Yeah.
So that's how many percentage wise is that? Is 7 out of 7? Is that? That's a high. That's definitely like 40.
Yes, 6 in the regular season, 1 in the playoffs.
That's crazy, man. That's insane. And I like the fact when Ben Johnson on his press conference, he was a little bit annoyed by that shit too. He was like, I don't like how we're playing, but it's who we are right now. He was kind of grudgingly to admit that. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what are you going to do to avoid another game like that? Because it's not sustainable to me. I mean, it's sustainable now, but you don't want to play like that, man. You want to play with the lead sometimes. I mean, goddamn.
Sean, real quick, you said you last week you said you wanted to see some different, some new plays or anything that Ben Johnson hasn't shown the teams yet. You know what I mean? Did he do that this against the Packers this last game?
So yes and no. In terms of him going past more on 13 personnel when they got 3 tight ends, you saw him feature Colson Loveland. I think he had 15 targets. So absolutely, he went against his tendency to force feed a wide receiver. We haven't seen him do that. I think going all the way back to maybe the Raiders game when they were trying to force feed Romo Dunze. So I think that he saw a matchup that he really liked, and he had tried to use formations that he typically liked to run in to put Colson in one-on-one situations, and he was able to get him 9 catches. I don't think from a schematic standpoint, outside of the DJ Moore play that you discussed, that he did anything from a trickeration standpoint, because Green Bay pretty much leaves themselves in a space where it's hard to kind of trick them the way that they set their formations up pre-snap. They don't show a lot on motion early. They pretty much stand still. They muck up that A gap. So from that standpoint, they don't give you a lot of tails. So I think it really just came down to trying to figure out where you can find a mismatch, or is there a situation on the field that you can call something special, and that the fake screen was probably the most eccentric play that you saw from your head coach. So I give him a passing grade, man. I think that the problem that I'm having is that his script at the beginning of games isn't having the effectiveness like we saw it at the beginning of the season. And I don't know if it's because the improvement of the talent or the caliber of teams that we're playing, which that's what I expect.
Good point, Sean.
The better the teams, the better the defense, the better the coaches, the lesser the opportunities in the first half that you'll have to start out on fire, because teams typically come in a little bit more prepared. And with Green Bay knowing you and pretty much being very familiar with your playbook, and Lafley being a coordinator that's very comfortable coordinating against you, it's just like a perfect storm. I do think that when you go back and look at that Niners game, the Bears were effective in the first half, and they were able to establish that based off the run game. So I think, again, I'm going to keep saying this, that is the key for the Bears. When teams don't key on the run early, you have to feed it. That allows you early in games to get more red zone opportunities. The Bears are just not getting the red zone opportunities in the first half to generate points. And without big shot plays early in the game that they have not gotten, because teams are not giving up the deep play, this is what you're going to see. A lot of inconsistent offense and a lot of ass possessions in the first half.
Right.
So our left tackle, Ozzie Petrillo, he has suffered injury, and he's out for the year, unfortunately.
Torn patella tendon, will not come back and may miss early camp.
Dang. So hopefully we have somebody that can, kind of fill that gap, so that our run game can, or actually our pass game, because left tackle, that's more of for Caleb passing game. So that hopefully that whoever replaces him can we can be fine with that with the passing game, and hope prayers up to him. And want to get quickly going over the other games of the NFL playoffs. We had the Patriots beat the Chargers, pretty much a defensive battle.
Yeah.
Your thoughts quickly about that? I just said Justin Herbert. I think he just doesn't perform well in playoff pressure, and it kind of showed there. But what's your take on that quickly for the Patriots and Chargers?
It was a defensive slugfest, man. It was a young ascending quarterback who looked like an MVP quarterback against a guy, especially if you're talking about outdoing another quarterback, against a guy that was looking like he was going to ascend past to be the next one. You know, Herbert was looking like he might have been the next one. It's like a year after year, for whatever reason, it's like he's not. You know, I can't really explain. I don't watch him that much, but when I do watch him, it seems like, you know, he struggles, like you're saying, in playoff games. So the Patriots game, you know, that was a good one. I picked them. Who else did I pick?
He got sacked 6 times too that game.
Yeah, that matters. So just my 2 cents on that, man. 49ers, I picked the 49ers to win. I picked somebody won.
The Bills and Jaguars played, and then we got.
I picked the Jags. Shaw picked the Jags. So I'm like 4-2, 4-1.
I picked the Bills.
No, you picked the Bills.
No, the Bills. I misspoke. My bad, King.
I picked the Bills. Yeah. And then we got the Texans and Steelers tonight. Another game we had. You said 49ers and Eagles. I said the Eagles, the way they chirping at each other. They got the coach and the wide receivers chirping at each other. AJ Brown talking about, I need the ball more. Well, you getting the ball and you dropping it. You know, it's like, come on, bro. Like, you doing all that talking and stuff. When we give you the ball, you're not performing.
Shad, did you pick the Eagles?
No, I had the Niners winning because I would have liked the Niners to play the Seahawks so that we can get another home game.
That's what it was.
Beat the Rams.
Yeah. And I think the Eagles right now, they're kind of in turmoil. I know, Shad, you said if they lose this game, Nick Sirianni's job might be
gone, bro.
It's on a hot seat.
Shut that shit. Jalen Hurts had 168 yards passing, man. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah. And I think AJ Brown's going to be gone too from Philly because they need to just break up that whole thing.
They have a very expensive team, and if you don't win a Super Bowl, there are going to be changes. This year, I think they'll start with the head coach.
So you think Harbaugh is going to be the front runner for that?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. We had the
Eagles like to pay. They're going to pay. They're a real organization. They do not tolerate losing, and they have no problem getting rid of coaches. They did it to Doug Peterson after he won a Super Bowl. Just saying.
For sure.
Bills beat the Jaguars 27-24. Josh Allen, they did his thing. Had 273 yards, TD. Trevor Lawrence, he had a decent game, 3 TDs, but he had two interceptions. Bills had that big push, toward the end, going toward the end zone, which I think kind of probably sealed that victory. But the Bills now, I think they're awaiting the winner of the Steelers and Texans, I believe. Right? Yeah. Well, so we'll see what happens with the Steelers and the Texans. What's your thoughts about this Steelers Texans matchup tonight? Who you got?
I got the Texans, man. It's time for A-Rod to retire, bro. They're gonna hurt that man, put that man in a nurse home, bro. That pass rush is not fucking around tonight at all.
Shot.
Oh shit, we gave the prediction on this game, man. Houston's gonna win.
Okay, Houston winning. I got Houston winning too. And last but not least, what do y'all think? Okay, a lot of people were, they kind of on the fence. They would say it wasn't professional the way Ben Johnson shook LaFleur's hand at the end of the game, and you need to be more professional than that. A lot of people think that was childish. I didn't have no problem with it. I'm just like, hey, you don't like the man, you know what I mean? He did shake his hand. He didn't like he didn't shake his hand. And what are y'all quick thoughts on that? People just are just overthinking this, or just like they just trying to find something to just talk about. Is it nothing?
I think it's nothing for your personality. Like, if you're a person like me who love to see shit like that as a competitor, and you're competitive, you're gonna love it. You know what I mean? If you're on that team with Ben Johnson and your players pretty much, are you're their leader, you're their vocal leader, you're their I'm gonna take my shirt off coach. This is what you expect to see. So the fact that he shook his hand and got the hell up out of there, or shook his hand and got up out of there, I didn't expect nothing less from Ben Johnson, man. I thought it was dope. I thought it was competitive. I thought it was, look, man, I really don't want to shake your hand, but I'm going to do it because I still going to show a little bit of respect. But if people can say what they want, man, it just depends on how you view sports, how you view competition, how you view people in the moment, you know what I'm saying, of an intense game and, you know, and everything like that, man. So it just depends on what people they're taking, what they like to see or they don't like to see. But me personally, I love to see that type of shit, man. And he said in the locker room, F Green Bay, fuck them. I don't like them guys over there. So he continued that from the handshake to the locker room. So Ben Johnson is him. Ben Johnson is who he is, and he's not phony or fake, man. He's always going to be him. So I can appreciate that. People just got to learn to deal with it and accept it. He's not going to change.
Man, I wish we wouldn't talk about coaches shaking hands. That shit is trash. That ain't even football, bro. I never gave a fuck about a coach shaking a hand. I don't care how it looks. When they used to make a big deal about Bill Belichick walking across the sideline with his hood every week, all in his face. Oh, he scowled at him. Oh, he didn't want. Look, man, that's just for dramatics. It's just for TV. It means absolutely nothing. When they got in the locker room and he said what he said, you know, it goes to the mindset of what he's told his team all year long. Play with the youthful enthusiasm, play with an intelligent violence on the field, and compete and celebrate with your team in the most natural capacity, man. So from that standpoint, whatever comes out is great. I like to see them I like to see them being authentic and not being phony. I don't like phony teams, and this team doesn't suit itself to be phony. They've accepted who they are. They've accepted the personalities that are in that building. And maybe all of them don't necessarily show who their true colors all the way. Speaking specifically on guys like maybe DJ Moore or even Caleb Williams to a certain extent, and definitely guys like Montez Sweat, or for that matter, anybody on defense. They all know their role, and they're going to play that role and stay within accordance to what they got going on, man. So I like the vibe and the energies they got going on. Fuck a handshake. I mean, honestly, it would have been even more G if you just didn't even shake his hand. You just kept walking.
I wouldn't like that too.
Drop your fucking clipboard and walk right past his ass. Excuse me, little buddy. Excuse me, little brother.
Right.
Pardon me.
You ain't lying. Shout out to our guy Jay. Unc Hallis is in the comment section, man. He says, better on my guys. What up, man? He's a good guy on TikTok, man. He's got a huge following, man. He was on our last pregame show, man. Good dude, man. We appreciate the support, man. Make sure you all follow Manny on the Southside podcast on Manny's page on Facebook if you're on Facebook, bro. We appreciate the love. But you ain't lying, Shy. I would like it more, G, if you would just walk by him. Fuck, get out of my face. Get out of my stadium. Get out of here, man. Beat it, bro.
Exactly.
Beat
love
it.
Love it.
What'd you think about that, Manny, man? What'd you think, though? I know you're doing all the interview questions, but what do you think, man? Are you a competitive type? Are you a conservative type? You like to see that? You know, because it resonates with the fan base, man. Like Chicago this is Chicago, bro. It's a lot of tough people in this city, bro. You know what I mean? It's a lot of grit here. You know what I mean? So we like to see that type of stuff, man. You know. But what did you think about it?
I was fine what he did. I would have. For me, I probably would have just, just give him a fist bump. Right. I'll give him a fist bump, keep it moving. And then the people say, well, that's classless. I'm like, hey, I don't like him. Well, you need to show, like, no, we don't need to be PC. We don't need to be politically correct. Hey, right. Like Shad said, I'm not phony. So exactly. I'm not gonna just, I could be acting and say, that's a great game. Yeah, let's put her there. It's like, no. You talking shit over your side. Y'all team beat our ass for how many years? And then we changing the culture right here. We got a quarterback that's changing the culture, like changing the way quarterback has been playing. Like you said, he's John Elway, like you said, bro.
Hey, Shad gave me my flowers on that, man. And Shad is the real deal, man. So when we was on my post game, man, he say, man, what you call him? He say call him Caleb Elway, man, with them chunk play. Because I've been saying Elway. Because man, he's such an inaccurate quarterback. And when I was looking at Elway, his earlier, he was 53%, 54%. I'm like, man, but wow, he could kill you with two throws. So Shy pretty much gave me the numbers for that, man, just for that comment. I appreciate that. Because I was just saying it from that perspective, like, that went over a lot of people's heads. Me saying, I'm like, nah, bro, he's inaccurate, man. But he can kill you with a few goddamn throws up the field and you at the 10-yard line. He can do it. He showed you like this week. It's filthy, bro. It's filthy. And I don't know what his ceiling is as far as he might surpass his Compass Elway if he can get better and clean up his game and get in the games, bro. Now, if he can do that, maybe he is Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers Jr. or some shit like that. But right now, he's Elway with that inaccurate ass play he be doing a lot of times.
He's not even in his prime yet, y'all.
Yeah.
That's the dangerous thing. He's not in his prime yet. Wait till we get to see his prime and everything else, and we can even have better evaluation. Last thing, predictions of the Rams and Bears score predictions. What do you think's gonna happen?
Oh, I'll go. Shot want to go. I got the Bears. Ooh, this tough, man.
So it's a tough matchup.
It's a tough matchup, man, because we've shown we can run the ball, let that dominate. We've shown that we can slow the clock down and we can get Taylor to do some things. We show we can play in the shootout. What we want against Cincinnati, against San Francisco, like Shah said, this could be a potentially another shootout. So the question to me is going to be how many times, again, how can we get them off the field on 3 and out on third down? We come out here early and get them off the field on third and whatever. We can get them off the field. That'd be great. So, but man, damn, this is a good question. Let me think. I don't want to be the one to say the Bears are going to lose. That's what I'm struggling with because I don't want to do it. So I'm going to say the Bears win. The Bears win 38-34. There we go. There it is. It's on record, man. It's on record.
Okay.
There it goes.
38-34.
There it is. 38-34, man. I think we get off the field on third down a few times this game, the defense.
What you got, Shot?
It's hard to pick a point right now, man, because I need to know that injury report, man. But looking at what Bryce Young did to the Rams defense, he had 264 yards last week, man. He only threw 1 touchdown. He did get a few scrambles, meaning he was able to get out the pocket a couple of times to extend drives. That's kind of what helped them in the third quarter get back in that game. The Rams, in between the second and third quarter, punted the ball 4 times, so that's opportunities if the Bears can play well at the end of the second quarter and start in the third quarter.
Yes.
Build in an advantage, something that they kind of have to buck what they haven't done this year. I'm trying to find out in this matchup what's the most key point or the most important unit to watch. For me, I think it's the Rams receivers. The fact that they got guys at the tight end and the wide receiving spot that can absolutely break the game open, it's going to be tough for the defense to really keep this team under 25 points, I think. They scored 34 last week. They averaged close to 30 on the season. And Matthew Stafford is considered right now as almost the MVP of the league. So we're going to see one of the best offense we've seen all year. I'm expecting the expectation for it to be a 30-point game plus, for it to be a victory. Now, if the weather's shit, throw it all out the window. Because to me, that's where I'm looking at, the weather report.
Weather report.
To me, fellas, because according to what you got, man, because I got a shitty report.
Weather report Sunday. High 11 degrees. It's going to be snowing, and the low is going to be 6. So we don't know what time they're going to play. I'm looking to see the time. I think they might play the evening game as opposed to the earlier game. I think it's a 2 o'clock and a 5 o'clock. So right now, it's still to be determined. So if we play the evening game, it's going to be more snowing and then maybe 10 degrees, 5 degrees.
I got it right now as being like 10 degrees right now, period, throughout the day. Wind chill, crispy, cold, and nasty.
I forgot about the
Typically, if you look at Matt Stafford's record, this is a key statistic. He is, I believe, 1-9 when it's under 32 degrees. This goes back to his Detroit days.
Now that boy Sean be doing his research, boy.
Me,
cooking right now.
For me, for me, I know Matt Stafford. I watched Matt Stafford. I know Matt Stafford, who
Right.
he was and what his DNA is. Fucking MVP. He's a
Right.
very good number 1 draft pick out of Georgia, but he ain't never been that if you've been watching them against the Bears. So I'm going to have to pick the home team to go victorious, but the way that they're going to win is going to be more of an all-around game. Even though the Packers, because they know us, they had the ability to stop us on the run. I think the Rams are a little more of a lighter defense, even though they have some very good defensive tackles. You can get explosive chunk plays on the perimeter against this team if you block Jared Verse. Ozzie Trapillo being out is the biggest component X factor for this week. If Theo Benedict can hold up and run blocking, that would allow the Bears to throw more advantageous completions on 3rd down and on 2nd and short. Reason I'm saying that is when you see Caleb rolling out, those are typically productive down and distances where they like to take shots or look down the field. That's where you got to block Verse. You didn't see Mike Parsons this week, but you're going to see Mr. Verse next week. He is just as good of a pass rusher as anything we got in this NFL. So they're going to key on left tackle, meaning this might be a big tight end game. This might be about a protection. So I think that they're going to go back and lean towards some of the game plan that we saw them have against the Baltimore Ravens. That was a game that we didn't necessarily see the best out performance on the offense, but that was about 7 weeks ago, fellas. I think we up to the task this week.
I love it, Shaw. Good shit, Shaw.
I'm kind of with Shad as far as the weather is concerned. Matt Stafford played in the Dome in Detroit for years. A record against the Bears, not that great. And now he's in LA. So one of those LA boys, once they get here in that cold weather, you're gonna have to run the ball more. They have more of a passing attack, especially with Nakua and Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Our corners, like we said earlier, our corners gonna have a field day. Our corners better step up to the task. So I'm expecting to see some Tyreek Stevenson up in this game. You know what I mean? And Brisker and Byard is really gonna have to step up big time. We still got to get to the quarterback. I think our defense is gonna be up for the task, but that weather is gonna play a factor. I think the Bears gonna run the ball more in this game, and I got them more of a lower scoring. I got that 27-21 Bears.
Okay.
I didn't give a point total, but I do think it'll take 30 points. As cold as it's going to be, I think both teams are going to focus on the ground game. I think the quarterbacks will pretty much mirror each other. Both are going to be hovering around 250 yards. Both will probably throw a touchdown. Somebody will probably throw one late. But I think this is going to be a real heavy ground game focused offense. Reason being because both defenses typically they make you one-dimensional, just in different ways. Like the Bears were able to make Green Bay one-dimensional because they were able to sell out on the run on 1st and 2nd downs and force Jordan Love to beat them in the air. He was getting completions and he threw 4 touchdowns, but the Bears took away what they wanted to do. The Green Bay Packers want to have the ability of running the ball when they want to run the ball. And Sean McVay is the king of balance. King of balance. When you think he's going to run, he's going to pass. When you think he's going to pass, he's going to run that bitch. So Dennis Allen might be up for a situation where if he gets out coached, and it's going to be shown up evidently on the field. And we can't afford that to happen this particular week because this could be one of those 32-12 somber ass after post games. What happened?
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that too. You know what? The way the Bears been playing, especially first halves, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams go up 17-3. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Now, if you're the Rams, you got to keep scoring because the Bears, that our defense is gonna, we're gonna make that adjustment in that second half, and once we make that adjustment, if you slowing down and scoring, just scoring field goals, we're gonna be scoring touchdowns, and everything's gonna be even back out. So that's all I gotta say with that one.
Good point. You right.
Yeah, man. So, hey, that's the Southside podcast for you guys. Hey, boy, Manny, Shad, Guy, check Guy out. CNG podcast on X, or you say Twitter, and Facebook, and YouTube as well. So check him out, y'all. And yeah, man. So on that note, we out. Bear down, go Bears. Let's get in that NFC Championship game, fellas.
Bear down.
Peace.
Peace.